April, but I'm back in the studio with my favorite model, Leah, in the house. Hey, hey. And I have been on a crazy trip, as I said. I had the pleasure of teaching at both BodyCon in Dallas, and I just returned from Bodysee in Canada. And whether you like it or not, Bling is back. So I had a great time teaching Bling, jamming about Bling, showing different ways about Bling. So I'm going to use one of the pieces that I created because we are introducing new Bling this month at Silly Farm. So I hope you enjoy. I'm going to show you how we can add just a little bit of Bling and kind of give you a teaser because I am crossing my fingers to get a fellow Canadian, well, I'm not Canadian, but she is, down to Faba TV to host a live class for you guys because her Bling is amazing as well as her face painting. So stay tuned for that. As always, if you want to connect with me, you know where to find me on social media, right?
Yes.
You can even follow Leah on Twitter if you want. But thanks again for joining me. I hope you enjoy this design. Let's get started. So I went to Dallas and had an awesome time meeting so many amazing people. And I was gifted these beautiful Bling pieces by, I believe it was from Gabby or Brand Renteria. Thank you so much. She put these beautiful blings together using silicone, as you can see on the back. If you don't remember how to make them, check out my video on that. And then I created this little special piece using some puffy paint. So I'm going to be using this one in a design to show you how just a little bit can go such a long way. And I hope you enjoy my new glittery backdrop. Start off by taking a little bit of pink and I mixed it, a little bubblegum pink fab, mixed it with a little shimmer white, test it on my wrist, make sure it's a nice shade, have her smile so that I can check those balls of her cheeks and make sure that when I'm applying the color to her cheeks that it follows the smile. While I'm putting down the background like the eyeshadow, then I'm going to apply a little bit of my Purcahsed to the back of my gem because you want to give it time to build up the tack before you apply it directly to the skin. So all I'm going to do is just put a really nice generous layer on the back. Now remember, I'm not going to stick this directly on the skin. I'm going to let it build up a tack just like I would if I was using spirit gum. So put that to the side for a second. Now I loaded my sponge with metallic white and special shimmer purple in the fab. I tested on my wrist, make sure it's not too watery because I'm going to apply that to the eyes. So close your eyes. Oh, she's already got this down packed. So I just kind of dab in the color, the white first. This is a shimmer white, my favorite. And then I take the other side, which is the purple, and just kind of blot in along the edges. This is the eyeshadow and the blush. My Bling should be ready. You know it's ready to apply to the skin when the glue went from white to clear. So it looks like it's pretty much ready. This piece that I built has these roses, so they're going to be kind of like my inspiration for the design. So I'm going to place it right in the middle, and then I just hold it into place like that. So now I'm going to pick up my Bright Rose Arty Cake and my Arty Brush small brush, okay? You want to do this a little smaller. I don't want it to be too big. So I just rub it back and forth to load my brush. You want a good, generous... I have the roses here. I want to keep them in the theme of the design. So all I'm going to do, if you've ever taken a class with me, is I start off by making these little V's, and I use those as guidelines for all of my flowers and leaves, and that helps me create smaller designs. One here, and I'm going to do my V's here as my guidelines, and I'm laying the outside of my roses. So I'll put one here, 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 and here, make my little V's, and then I just fill it in and create those outside petals. Anytime that you're going to layer roses, you want to create multiple layered roses, you need to put down the first layer first, let it dry, then you go back on top. Or else if it's too wet, the colors are just going to bleed together. So then make my little V's. If you don't know what I'm talking about with V's, I suggest you check out my channel on Faba TV. I love teaching about flowers, and I had such a great time teaching about them in Canada. So at this point, these flowers should be ready for their next layer, so I'm just going back in with my V's and I'm layering. Now the beauty of creating roses at this size, or this size rose, is that they don't have to be perfect. They can just kind of be your roses that you fudge on until you get perfect at creating cabbage one. And I just added little rosebuds all in there. I've been really challenging myself to work on the tip of my brush more. So I'm going to show you guys some scroll work you can do to connect and create beautiful crowns and make very soft, delicate lines. So I start off on the very tip of my brush. You want to make sure your brush is very straight and you're using the tip. That you're not on this angle, you're not on this angle, that you're at a very, very straight angle. So what I'm going to do is working on the tip of my brush, I'm going to start connecting. Now remember, if we're going to use her forehead as a guideline, you want your crown to kind of swirl up. So the first thing I'm going to do is from here, notice the angle of my brush, I'm just going to start making a series of scroll work. So I'm scrolling on the tips of my brush. I'm just going to connect it all the way up here. Again, swirl on the tip, dot. Swirl on the tip, dot. Swirl. And I'm just bringing in some teardrops to kind of frame that little. So again, what you do on one side, you'll do on the other. Swirl, swirl, dot, swirl. Just bring those teardrops in. And as always, I'll just frame underneath using teardrops and a little swirl right inside. Using my same white and the tip of it, I'm just going to go gently around it so that you're bordering your rose. Then you can go in and you can create any extra petals that you want to. And then from the edges of that, I'm just adding some dots. So then here, the same thing. Swirl on the tip, curl. Swirl on the tip, dot. Swirl on the tip, dot. Finally, the same thing here. So I'm just going to swirl, dot, swirl off of it, dot, swirl. As I'm just going to add these little soft white dots, and then finally, I just picked up a little bit of our brand new Magic Magenta in the Fab line. We worked really hard to create this magenta color that didn't stain. And then I just, of course, make sure that I get these beautiful lips. And then finally, just a little bit, have her open up a little bit so I can put right on her bottom lip. And just like that, I was able to create a very fast, very simple, bling-inspired princess. Now, I really want to push you guys and challenge you guys to use your scroll work. Look at how fast I was able to get this done by just using my brush, white paint, and just kind of accentuate the bling that I created. Sometimes you can let the bling do the work for you. Don't be afraid of that. Especially if you're building these bling pieces, you can get as creative as you want, as intricate as you want, and then you have to do less work on the back end because those bling just stand out all on their own. So, thank you, Leah, for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. As always, feedback, it's welcome. If you want to see me in your area, hit me up at heather@sillyfarm.com. And stay tuned for Faba TV. We have so many amazing classes on the way, so I look forward to seeing you soon. If you enjoy my videos, subscribe to my channel. And have a great day. Happy painting.